And welcome everyone to another galactic story told by me, Jedi Consular Fin. You are in my bedroom, ready to be told stories. A place where legends are made. And of course, pants are totally optional because these Jedi robes, they're really long, so they help to cover everything. So pants are not needed at all. So, welcome everyone. I hope you guys are having a great Friday night. I am here to tell you a story about Star Wars that is otherwise not told. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes has long been known to be canon. And you play things in the game without even realizing it, but canon is made every single day you play the game. The greatest place that it's told is the Galactic War. The stories told in the Galactic War are sometimes unknown, but now we are going to chronicle them. And I, Jedi Consular Fin, being the scribe Jedi that I am going to tell you one of those stories live as we recreate it in the game. So let's go ahead and start out by looking at the different options we have for teams or different groups of characters that we're going to follow in their quest through all of this craziness. So let's go ahead and switch over here and show you the teams. So first we have Maz Kanata. That's not a question I answer. All I say is that these Jedi robes are long enough that you don't need pants. The rest of it are all up to you guys. I ain't talking about that. There's certain things. Apparently in Twitch, it's common to not wear pants, I think. Well, it depends. Or you wear really, really short shorts. But I'm sitting down. Now, I would recommend wearing underwear, especially if you have leather furniture, like a leather chair like I do, because otherwise it sticks and gets all... Nah. You have to wear something, just maybe not pants. I'm just saying. That's a separate side issue. Different topic, not Star Wars related. Let's focus on Star Wars. Okay, blinders on. Okay, here we go. We are focusing on the teams. Now, the first team that you see is the Keep It in the Family team. And this is a team following, of course, the Skywalkers. So we have leading the bunch, of course, Darth Vader. The Papa himself. He is the one that ends up maybe actually fulfilling the destiny and being the one that changes the fortunes of the Jedi and the Sith, and changing the dynamic of the Force. We, of course, then have Farm Boy Luke, who is the most useless of the Skywalkers right now, because he kind of just cries and gets attacked by Tuskens and hits Womp Rats, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not all that useful. And for some reason, I have a Zeta on him, but that has a whole separate Jedi Consular thing to it, and I'm not really going to talk about that. Then we have Princess Leia, the strong female presence, and somewhat nostalgic for this week, for those of you guys that are not aware, Miss C.G. Carey, one of the producers of the game that helps to define our canon for Star Wars, is unfortunately no longer going to be a canon creator for us. But we are going to create canon in her honor with the game that she helped to bring up to this point, so we will continue the galactic story in her honor. Then we have, of course, Miss Padme, the matriarch, the strong woman that Princess Leia took after without even really realizing it. And then, of course, Jedi Knight Anakin, the whiny brat that thinks he could do everything but really couldn't do and then never learned about the high ground. So that is our first team. Our next team is the Stop Me If You Can team, and that is with Admiral Akbar, leader of the Rebel forces. Then you have Enfys Nest, a 16-year-old girl that for some reason is fighting all across the galaxy and is feared by Woody Harrelson, which kind of a whole separate issue. Then you have Rolo, which is Leia, but in her winter outfit. And you have 3PO and Hermit Yoda, two droids that really don't attack, but they're there to support the 16-year-old, which is, again, a little bit weird, but seems to be in their repertoire considering they did something similar with Luke. So they have a history of being around 16-year-olds. So you might want to keep an eye out on Hermit Yoda and 3PO, because they're a little creepy. And speaking of creepy, let's talk about the AARP squad. Sometimes we can learn a lot from our elders, and other times we can watch them go into battle and do old man strength stuff. So we have, of course, Miss Old Daka herself, followed by Grand Moff Tarkin, Count Dooku, Ewok Elder, and Old Ben. So lots of old people here. We'll see what kind of old man strength that they have. And then lastly, the Dream Team. The Dream Team is the one that I think most people would like to see, because they are truly a dream team. So let's take a look at them. Mob Enforcer, Coruscant Underworld Police, Tusken Raider, Jedi Knight Guardian, and Jawa. Key characters in the galaxy, but are sometimes, actually more often than not, forgotten about the legacy they leave behind. So these are our 4 squads. Now, there is going to be one other, and the other one is our wild card. So we do have a wild card team that can appear. And what is the wild card team? Well, the wild card team is actually pretty simple. The wild card team is actually going to be potentially a choice by you, the fans. So you'll see here, I have our wheel of team selection. And our wheel of team selection is going to end up picking which team we are going to chronicle as they go through their galactic war. Now, you have all of them, and then the little yellow sliver is a viewer's choice. So if we get to that point, you guys get to type in chat which ones you want to see me put together a team. And if it does end up being the dream team, by the way, you guys will see me live on the stream at Jedi Consular Fin, trying to give them the best chance to win, and we will level them up. So let's go ahead and start by figuring out which team we want to go. And let's spin the wheel. I may have left that spin on too long, so everyone in the chat, type the team that you guys wish to see. But we'll see how close you guys get to what the wheel is, because the wheel is kind of spinning a lot. Like, a lot. This is not a, So I see dream, I see family. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Oh, click, 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 click. And we get the Stop Me If You Can team. Now, why is it called the Stop Me If You Can team? So we're going to look at that team again. The reason is you're getting all kinds of assists with this team. So you're going to get 3PO calling to assist. You're going to get Hermit Yoda calling to assist. You're going to get Akbar's lead getting Rolo to attack. Enfys Nest counters attacks. Rolo does like 11 hits by herself. So you're going to get a team here that is going to be able to just counterattack and attack and attack. And that is why it is called the Stop Me If You Can team. So we are going to chronicle this team as we go through the Galactic War. So let us start off by going to the Galactic War and going to the first node. So now, let me close out the browser here so you don't have to see that. There's no reason to see. By the way, at the bottom, you see this way. You see the Porg. This is my Porg. His name is Fuzzkins. And Fuzzkins is a happy Porg that likes to eat Twitch bits. So if you guys would like to support RSG, please feed him. And every now and then he gets so full that he just kind of vomits up all of your bits and stuff. So if you guys would like to see that, go ahead and donate there. Greatly appreciated, again, all to help RSG as we try to bring you guys fun content and make sure that you guys do follow. And if you can, subscribe as well. So let's go ahead and start the story here with the first team. Now this is a First Order team, but that's a little bit different. You have Kylo. You have Kylo with his mask. So you have 2 phases of Kylo showing up, trying to stop this 16-year-old girl with a bunch of other rebels and other nonsense. Because, let's be honest, this whole team is based around that 16-year-old girl. It's all about Enfys Nest. Enfys Nest is the girl that's going to dominate this. That is what we are looking forward to. That is what we are hoping to see. Akbar is there just kind of provide the way, maybe help out a little bit, dispel some dazes and that kind of stuff. Make sure that Enfys stays safe, because Akbar, being the veteran that he is, wants to make sure that the little girl is safe. So, I mean, it's good of him to do that. Then we have First Order Executioner. So if you have Kylo, you need to bring that Executioner along in order to be able to attack anything that really comes along, because if something attacks Kylo, you want an Executioner there to chop off his head. Then you have First Order TIE Pilot. And then, strangely enough, Visa Smar. Now, why does Visa Smar come into here? Well, here's an interesting thing. If you guys don't know, if you wear Kylo's mask, it's very hard to see. he really does kind of use his force in order to try and see. And if you see Kylo without the mask, he has a scar over his eye, so he has trouble seeing anyways. And then he puts that mask on, and everything gets dark. So who helped him train is actually Visas Mar. If you've actually seen some of the gameplay, if you put Visas Mar and Kylo Ren mask together in Galactic War, actually pretty interesting because they're both just kind of blind. Now the other thing is you can put them with Chirrut, and you get this whole kind of blind, no sight type of team. Kylo can kind of see, but it's very squinty, and it's like this. And this is why the Jedi are better than all these Sith. Like half of them try to cover their eyes, and Maul has a bunch of spikes, and I don't really know what the hell is going on with that. But yeah, and I think Ouchie, you might be right. Kylo Ren might have Xbox being streamed into his mask, which is why some of this may not be working out correctly. And so we do want to make sure that is not the proper way. So for those of you guys that are trying to figure out how to wear a mask, the way that he did it is not the correct way. So we're going to go ahead and continue now and look at what is going on with good old First Order with Visas. And thank you, Coalescent. I saw that you donated 95 bits. I'm just waiting for it to pop up on the screen here because it should be working. I have everything set up for it. I'm just making sure. Yeah, we have the cup. We have all that. So it should be popping in here anytime soon. If not, I'll fill Mr. Fuzzkins the Porg here shortly for you. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pick up. Yeah, we're not using this team. This team is crap compared to what we're doing. We're going with the Stop Me If You Can team. So we have our team here selected. We're going ready to go. So let's go ahead and see how our 16-year-old manages to dominate with a bunch of rebels and creepy old droids and Hermit Yoda. Because that's really kind of what this is all about, right? We're going to see what Enfys Nest can do. So we're going to start out here with 3PO. Now, again, we know how 3PO and Hermit Yoda act. They are all about the 16-year-old. They're creepy old men. Well, Yoda's not really a man, and neither is 3PO. So they're just creepy. And they're all about the 16-year-olds. And they have Luke, and like Luke is gone now, and Luke isn't on this team, so they need another 16-year-old. So they're going to go with Nest. So 3PO is going to be like, okay, let me look at this team and who is the most dangerous. Because he's analytic. And so, of course, who he's going to think is the most dangerous is, of course, Visas Mar. And the reason is Visas Mar probably trained all of them because she is the most skilled of all of them. So 3PO is going to say, Enfys Nest, help me attack Visas Mar. And Enfys Nest, being the good girl that she is going to go right after Visas Mar. Enfys shows no mercy, though. She's going after everyone. So she's going to do her AoE and try to daze everyone. Look at that. Look at that. That 16-year... It's crazy how much 16-year-olds dominate in some of these shows and stuff. So you have a 16-year-old here, right? And then you have young Luke that does his thing. And if you watch any anime, like it's always like a 16-year-old that's in some anime camp that's like saving the entire world as a ninja. It's the most ridiculous thing. I don't know when in society 16-year-olds became the saviors of the world, but I'm not sure that's necessarily correct. But hey, this is a different time. You know, galaxy... long time ago, far, far away, that somehow is more advanced than we are now. We don't have to think about it too much. But for whatever reason, there you go. Enfys Nest, being the good girl that she is just knocking everyone aside. And of course, Hermit Yoda doing the same thing. He wants to give that training to Enfys Nest. Coalescent, don't turn into Hermit Yoda or 3PO. That's all I gotta say. We don't need that. Let me get rid of the buffs. No, move away, buffs. There we go. Okay. I don't know why the buffs wanted to show. We don't need to show those buffs the whole time. Okay, so now we have good old Akbar going. Now, Akbar is ready to help out his entire team. He's not as creepy with the 16-year-old as 3PO and Hermit Yoda, so we're not going to bother with that. So he's going to go and try to make everyone a little bit better, and of course, Rolo is going to try and help out. She is, of course, torn. Two of those end up being her son. You have masked and unmasked Kylo Ren, her son, that eventually does some bad things, and we don't want to have to deal with any of that. So Leia's never going to attack Kylo Ren willingly, so she's going to go right after Visas. She's not even going to AoE. She doesn't want to accidentally hit crew, so she's going with a basic on Visas, and Visas is now out. But look at that. Look at that. Ungrateful child, Kylo Ren, just goes straight after his mother. I mean, Is this not just picture perfect to what happened? See, did I not tell you that all of the stories that you are looking for are inside of Galactic War? This is a foreshadowing of what happens in the later trilogy, and you see it now. Kylo Ren going straight after his mother, no regret, just straight stuns her right there. It's very sad. Enfys finds this disgusting. There's no way she wants to see somebody go after a mother like that. So she's going right after Kylo and trying to give him a bit of his own medicine, and there you go. Straight right at him. Now, 3PO, again, following suit of the 16-year-old, is going to focus on unmasked Kylo as well. So we have this focus now on unmasked Kylo, who's already scarred and now is scarring himself again by stunning his own mother. It's a shame. Just a total shame. And Enfys is going to go again, just try to take out Kylo Ren. And look at all the other First Order trying to defend, trying to help out their master. Well, I guess one of their masters, since both of them are there. And good old Hermit Yoda. Hermit Yoda is just going to be trying to heal up Enfys. Even though she's not hurt, he's just like, you know what? She's 16. Let me give her some healing. So there we go. And now Enfys just counterattacking the other Kylo. It's equal opportunity Kylo hating. It's what she does. And it's very respectable. She doesn't just go after one Kylo, she goes after both of them. Akbar, following suit of Leia, is going to go after good old unmasked Kylo. We're going to attack him right in the face. Yeah, come on. Yes. Okay, you know what? You're being silly. There we go. Haha. Alright, and we're going to go after Kylo again. There we go. We have taken out unmasked Kylo. Isn't it a great thing to see? And of course, now we're at 3PO again, and 3PO is going to be the creepy pedophilic robot that he is, and going to pick on Enfys Nest to go assist and take out the other Kylo. Now, Rolo is without any qualms. She has everybody to attack on the field that she doesn't care about. Everyone that she thinks may have corrupted her son. And they're all going to go right after. Akbar is going to go after. And Hermit Yoda is kind of creepy, so he's just going to heal up everyone again. And then Akbar is going to help. And we're going to have... Akbar is just going to try and take him out. He sees the expose. He's a strategist. If nothing else, Akbar is a strategist. So he's going to go ahead and try to take out... Why does Akbar's basic not want to work? Akbar's basic is the only one that doesn't seem to want to work. Okay, here we go. And now we're going to go after... There we go. And we're going to go... You know what? Just going to go basic after First Order Stormtrooper. Enfys isn't going to waste energy. But Rolo is upset. This First Order is part of a group that ended up corrupting her son. There's no way she's happy about it. So she is just going to go all out. It's just one target, but she doesn't care. She's AoEing this fool. Look at that. Just crit him. And there we go. So you see the first battle of our Stop Me If You Can team. A First Order team with visas, corrupted by visas in order to train them with their blind sight on the crew. And of course, Kylo Ren being basically led astray from his parents, coming back, and the first thing he does is actually to open up a stun on his mother. Very sad. Very sad. So now we get to our next team. Oh, look at this. It is a classic battle of which light side faction is the best. Is it the Jedi? Is it the Rebels? I mean, we do have pretty much light side on both sides, right? The Stop Me If You Can team is a light-sided team, led by Akbar, the strategist. But what do you have on the other side? You have a hothead of Anakin. You have Bastila, who is... I mean, I talk about no pants. She's almost no shirt. So we're kind of evened up there. And then Ezra, who's a little bit emo. You got Grandmaster Yoda, who's getting into his pedophilic stage. So hopefully he's going to be a little distracted by Enfys, Enfys can handle her own. And then we have Qui-Gon, who basically just dies to Maul. Doesn't really make sense. He just kind of dies to Maul. He's freaking Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is not going to die to Maul. I'm sorry. I love Maul. He's maybe my favorite character in Star Wars, but Liam Neeson's not going to die to Maul. It's a fallacy that happened in Star Wars. It's a very sad day in Star Wars. But at least Ewan McGregor was able to be... I mean, General... or Padawan Kenobi was able to beat him. Yeah. Somehow Ewan McGregor is better than Liam Neeson. I'm not so sure about that. But in any case, so now we have a classic battle happening. The team is now going to be facing Jedi. I don't know why all these Jedi are together. They're from different eras, but again, this was a different time, and time travel is somehow possible. Probably they rode on a whale and got into stuff. So there we go. So we're going to start this here. And you see the team. Yoda is actually going to be in a battle against himself. But as you can see in his later days, Yoda is not a fighter. He's a manipulator of 16-year-olds. That is the way that he works. But he's disgusted by his old self. He's disgusted by the fact that his old self was such a fighter and apparently not a fan of 16-year-olds. So he's going to go right. He's going to tell Enfys, help me get myself. So Hermit Yoda is targeting himself for sure. Thank you, Ouchie. Okay, I need to see what's going on here because I think it's... Where is all that stuff? Hold on. I think I know what's happening. I don't see the little bar. Where are you, bar? Hold on. I'm checking right now. You guys need your notifications. You guys have earned it. So I'm checking right now what's going on before we continue this match, because this match needs to wait. So I'm going to switch over to my camera. No, we don't need the intro again. Stop with the intro. We had the intro. We don't need another 3 minutes. No, okay. There we go. Hold on. Let me see what's going on with the with the alert box, because it should be working. Let me see. Should be working. Okay, we're gonna test this out here again, because I want to make sure that I have everything for you guys. So let me go back here. You guys are seeing things and me setting things up live right now because I don't want this to be broke-to-did. There's no reason for it to be broke-to-did. Okay, here we go. There and there. Okay. Let me see if it'll pop up now. Why are you not showing up? Come on. I feel like there's something going on with Streamlabs right now, because there is no reason why it shouldn't be showing up. But let me do a test here. Okay, here we go. Let's do a test on bits. Nope, it is not working. Why is it not working? Silly. God, friggin'. Every time. It's always something. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Okay, are you going to show up now? There we go. Okay, there we go. We got one back. We got one back. Haha. Okay, now let me do the other. Okay, let me do this. I go here, and go here, and let's see if this works. Okay, I think this worked. I'm going to test it again. We're going to test some bits. There we go. Haha! I have no idea why it didn't work the first time. So, this is what I'm going to do for you guys, because you guys did donate, and I appreciate it. We're going to have a little bit of a insanity one. Okay, here we go. I'm going to switch to the mid-cam. We're going to see how everything kind of flies onto the screen, and we'll kind of deal with that here. So, let us go ahead and let's test some bits here. Okay. For Ouchie and Kalessin, thank you for the support. And let's see what happens here. Oh, of course. There are always it is Jedi problematic in here. That's all I gotta say. It is. It's always something. And there's Maz's. Maz donated. Thank you, Maz. Okay, and we're gonna donate a few bits here for Kalessin and Ouchie. And we will watch as the pour gets filled up. So there we go. And, oh, do I need to refill the cup too? I need to redo the cup too, apparently. Silly. Okay, I'll get all of you guys. This is not... Okay, here we go. Okay, we got that. And then I do this. And do that. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, we're going to try this once again. Oh, there we go. Look, everything is coming into the porg. There we go. Now everything is in. All right. that was the, it was a massive stream of pickles that just filled the pork. No history in Star Wars can explain how a stream of pickles got into a pork. I'm just saying. That's not a history that I want to know or tell. Just no. Yeah, no. That's just no. Yeah, we don't need any pickles. I spammed your stream. Oh. Hi. Hi, Ranger. All right. Is that why it's not working? Because you're streaming too? Ha! All right. So, we're going to switch back to our gaming cam. And we're going to do our remaining battles for our good old team here. Let me switch over here. Haha. All right. We are back on track now. We have everything working. That's why. It makes sense. Okay. So, we are ready to fight here. And we already had Hermit Yoda trying to go after his old self. The one that did not like 16-year-olds. And, of course, the one that likes to manipulate 16-year-olds himself. So, okay, so now we're at Akbar. Now, Akbar is looking at this team and trying to figure out who the one is that he needs to attack the most. And the one that he needs to attack the most is, of course, Anakin. Anakin, while being the youngest, maybe close to Ezra of the group, he is also maybe the most dangerous. So he's going right after him. So we are going right after Anakin. And of course, 3PO, being creepy as he is, he's going to follow suit. He knows better. He's going to follow suit with Akbar, who leads the way. And he's going to let Nest go after Anakin. And look at this. So we have the focus going on Anakin right now. Enfys Nest is also smart. She's 16, but she's smart. And what she knows is that with the protection, they're not going to get any kind of debuffs on it. So she's not going to worry about the rest. She's just going straight after Anakin. She's just going to go with the basic. She's going to focus on him, just try to bring him down. Hermit Yoda doesn't have his ability to manipulate a 16-year-old right now, so he's not going to do anything. There we go. And now we come to an interesting decision. Rolo, once again torn. Rolo has to decide between attacking her father, attacking the master of her brother, or one of these other random Jedi. So she, of course, can't attack the ones that are already being attacked. That wouldn't be what she wants to do. But you know what she wants. She wants to take out the bee that ends up having to control everyone. She's going after Bastila, because Bastila is the bee that's controlling all of these, and she's not having any of that. And so Akbar is going to go help everyone. He's going to start putting up that special mechanic and get everyone special to start calling extra. And 3PO is going right after it. He's going to be calling. He knows his focus is Anakin, just with Hermit Yoda. He's going to get the 16-year-old to start attacking Anakin. And now look at that. And, of course, you have 3PO trying to do his best to do it. Now, look around. Still way too much protection, but young Anakin is still not with protection. He no longer has his cover. Enfys is taking her chance. She's going right after him, and right with the stun. Look at that. Ezra trying to do his best, but to no avail. And Akbar, taking a survey of the scene, realizes that Anakin is ready to go down, and pew! Right in the face. Anakin's face is now even more messed up than it was before, and now you have everyone trying to go after the 16-year-old. Did you see, by the way, did you see how Grandmaster Yoda went right after Enfys? I told you, Yoda has a weird thing for 16-year-olds. So there you go. You see it now. You see it live. Right there. You saw it. You saw it right there. There. Right there. See? Right after the 16-year-old. I'm telling you, the little green man is not as noble as you may think. And I'm a Jedi, I know. So we're going to go right after, again. Now we're trying to survey. Again, the strongest one is going to be Ezra. So he's going after Ezra now. Ezra, again, is the biggest damage dealer who he has to worry about. 3PO is going to control the 16-year-old and go with Nest. There we go. Haha. And now look at this. Still only one person without protection. There's no reason for the AoE. Nest is being smart, going right with her basic. Ranger, don't worry. It's not us that are going after 16-year-olds. It's the story of Hermit Yoda and 3PO, which are kind of pedophilic robots and green little things. So, it's okay. Don't worry. We're fine. It's not us. So, Rolo, Leia, she's going after the B again. She's going right after good old Bastila. She's not having any of that. She's getting rid of the B there. And Hermit Yoda following suit with Leia, just kind of keeping up now. He doesn't know who to attack, but he wants to manipulate the 13-year-old. Let's get some girl-on-girl action for good old Grandmaster Yoda, or Hermit Yoda. There we go. Next on Bastila. And we're going to go ahead and start specialing up with good old Akbar, focusing on Bastila. And we're going to keep on Bastila here. And again, still too much protection up. Nest is smart. She's going with the basic, and she took out Bastila. There we go. You see? And now you have... I mean, Leia knows what to do now. She's done her job. She has taken out the woman that was controlling those Jedi, manipulating them into their bad ways, and now she's just going to help finish it off. So she's going after good old Liam Neeson. Hermit Yoda doesn't know what to do, and Akbar doesn't want that on him. He doesn't want any debuff, so he's taking that right off of him. 3PO is being called to assist. He's going to put a special up on everyone, get that tactical genius, and we're going to get Enfys going right after him. He may not stun, but he did. It's good. He got the damage and got the stun. But Enfys is just going right after Liam Neeson. 16-year-olds aren't afraid of Liam Neeson, apparently. And 3PO is going to control the 16-year-old again. And now the only one left is the creepy little frog on the other side. What manner of torture should he have left? We're going to continue here. Hermit Yoda is going to heal up everyone. He's going to try and keep everyone alive, especially his little 16-year-old sweetie. And they're going to focus on the one Grandmaster Yoda that's left. Here we go. There we go. Haha. All right, and look, there is no protection. Grandmaster Yoda is open for the taking. There he goes. Oh, look at that. He tries to attack everyone to no avail. Again, making sure that his target is on the 16-year-old. We see a trend here with Grandmaster Yoda. I'm just saying. Yoda, Hermit Yoda, they all have this tendency that we now can see live as we chronicle their story. So there we go. We have it. And let's see what kind of loot we get. Thank you, CG, for letting me tell my story. This is my payment, by the way. As we go through and we get some stories, then we're gonna get some payment here. So you kind of see my payment for doing this. So okay. So here we go. We have another kind of odd team. But it's only odd if you don't realize what's going on. You have Ezra with Luminara, Dooku, Old Ben, and Talia. Now again, you may wonder what brought this team together. What's really combining everything? Well, Ezra is of course no leader. But he likes to surround himself with those that are so he can learn. And look at that. 4 characters all with a leader ability. He wants to take a little bit from every single one and learn from it. And this is what Ezra wants to do. So he has brought himself evasion leads up the wazoo. Every single one is an evasion lead. Jedi evasion, all evasion. And all evasion with turn meter gain, and all evasion with offense, and then Night Sister evasion. Look at this, and you don't tell me that Ezra is trying to learn to be an evasion Jedi lead. That is his goal. And he has surrounded himself with the brightest of the bunch. All the evasion leads that we can think of that are on the light side, except for Talia, who's a little questionable, but better than Maul, are surrounding Ezra because they are training Ezra how to end up being an evasion leader. And we don't need that. We don't need the Phoenix being evasion. That would just kind of be really weird. Hera's fine as a leader. We can leave her there. So Ezra is just trying to usurp Hera. So we got to stop it now. This is the part of the story that we're trying to stop Ezra from overthrowing Hera as the leader of the Phoenix. And speaking of which, I want to go on a little bit of a sidetrack here. You can see on the screen that one of the characters is Luminara. Now you guys may have seen it before. Luminara is She's a special character, I gotta say. Um, she is. Is it getting a little personal? But we are in my bedroom, so it's time to tell you a story. Uh, Luminara is my ex-girlfriend. We used to be together. We used to go around healing everyone, and it was great. Everything was fantastic. I mean, look at her. There's. You would think that it was a match made in heaven. We went around, we healed, we laughed, we cried, we did Jedi things. But then it became obvious that Luminara was more than just a Jedi. She was an addiction. My heals are very straightforward. I heal you, you move on your way, everything is done. I am at peace, I can move on with my life. Luminara gives you a heal that lasts for so long that when it ends, you wonder where the hell it went, and then you like follow after her. So the next thing I know after we went on a mission trip was that Luminara was being followed by hundreds of guys just waiting to get extra heals from her. And there's only so much I can do with all those extra heals. All those guys coming for extra heals from her, and I mean, jealousy is bound to ensue. So it was very sad. Luminara and I broke up. It was sad. And the reason I bring this up is that lately it was brought to my attention that Luminara is seeing someone in the RSG community. She is with someone that gave her Gear 13. And I'm talking about you, Xlor. Xlor, I saw what you did. You gave Lumi Gear 13. I can't compete with that. I'm sorry. Luminara, I hope Xlor treats you well. He gave you what you wanted. I hope that's all you ask, and I hope you don't hurt him as much as you hurt me. Please don't be going Gear 13 after other people. Just stick with him. Seems like a good guy, gave you what you wanted. So sometimes life is just difficult. And there it is. An inside moment into Jedi Consular Fin. And Xlor, treat her well. Treat her well. Okay, I need a break after that. That's too much personal information. It kind of hurts me. For now, Dr. Feelgood. It's only for now. If I learned anything from being with Luminara as long as I did, she'll want more. It's the way she is. Hopefully Xlor can give it to her. That's all I hope for. If he can give her what she wants, then it's okay. But if not, then I mean, yeah, it's sad. But yeah. It's true, Durgan. The ladies do love being given 13, and so that's how he won her. But let's get back to it. I don't want to dwell on my past. This is my bedroom, but that doesn't necessarily mean we need to talk about what's happened in it. Let's go ahead and go back and get rid of Ezra, and of course stop him from becoming an evasion Jedi leader. We definitely don't need one of those in the game. We need to stop it immediately. So we're gonna keep on pushing here. We need to stop this evasion Jedi meta before it goes completely insane. Because evasion Darth Revan is not what, or Jedi Revan is not what we need. I have to say that story hurt a little bit, and so being that I'm telling the story, everyone's going after Luminara first. We're just going straight after her. She broke my heart. She's gonna die. She has to die. Everyone's controlling her. 3PO is controlling the 16-year-old. Hermit Yoda controls the 16-year-old, and the 16-year-old takes out Luminara. I feel at peace. That is not the right Jedi way, I have to say. It's not the Jedi way to do things. So to do as I say, not as I do. Don't be killing Luminara. But it kind of felt good. Okay, so now we are focusing again. We have the trainers of evasion -1, that Luminara, all ready to train Ezra on the ways of evasion, but we have to stop it. So is it easier to stop 3 masters, or is it easier to stop the one who's trying to learn it? And I think Akbar assesses the situation correctly here. He knows it's easier to stop Ezra from learning the ways of evasion. So he's going to help his team by giving them a tactical genius bonus, and they're all going to start going after Ezra, trying to stop him from learning this. Once he starts learning this, everything is going to break. So we're going to start focusing on that. And Nest isn't going to give up on this. Nest is going right after everyone. She's not having any of it. There's no reason not to AoE. She wants to get rid of all of these evasion because Nest hates evasion. And she's going to go after let's go after old Ben right now, who's the Jedi Master. Dooku, he's on roller skates. He'll slide somewhere. And Talia doesn't seem to really want to be there, just surrounded by a bunch of light side guys. And really, it's guys now. I mean, once Luminara is gone, it's really kind of a evasion sausage fest. It's not really worthwhile for her time. So we're just going to go ahead and get rid of that. And, oh, thank you, Dr. Feelgood. We're going to see a bunch of salt shakers go inside of a porg. Really shouldn't be filling up a porg with salt. I'm not necessarily sure that's a good idea for the porg. I hope he's able to handle this. There's a lot of salt. Poor porg. He's completely filled with salt right now. You have filled my porg with salt, Dr. Feelgood. Poor Fuskins the porg. I'm sure soon that's all going to come up. Don't worry, Fuskins. Just try to digest it. I hope you'll be okay. Okay. So we're going to get back here. Akbar's familiar with Kenobi. He knows how dangerous he is. So he's going to start attacking Kenobi again. Try to take him out. 3PO does what he does. Controls the 16-year-old. There we go. And old Ben is out. And now we're going to take out Dooku. We're going to try and let the Talia, who's surrounded by the evasion sausage fest, just kind of survive a little bit longer. She's suffered through enough. No reason to torture her. We're just going to go after Dooku right now. Try to take him out. And Dooku is being kind of a pain here. He is not going out without a fight. But eventually, it don't matter. But Leia's having some trouble here. So Leia has to be kind of careful. She is on the verge of dying, so we have to be very careful about what we do with Leia. So here we go. We're going to focus on Talia now, the only one left. And you know what? Hermit Yoda sees that Leia, his Padawan sister, again, wink wink, is hurting. And so he wants to make sure he doesn't let her go. So there we go. And Akbar takes advantage of the distraction of Talia watching the heel and takes out Talia. We have stopped the evasion meta from happening with the Jedi. I believe this is a day to celebrate because I don't think any of us want to see Jedi Knight Revan's lead with the Zeta, which is what we're going to happen next, because you know that Jedi Knight Revan essentially incorporates all of the leads from the Jedi, and the only one he didn't was the evasion. And so if he didn't incorporate Old Ben because there's just kind of a single one and it was so shared, but if 2 Jedi had the evasion lead, Jedi Knight Revan was going to take it. It's a matter of time before they rework Jedi Knight Revan and give him an evasion lead, because he's not working well against Darth Revan. We don't need that. So yes, we stopped it. And thank you, CG. What did you give me for payment? Ooh, I got some Snowtrooper shirts. We are on a Jedi Fest today, and look at what we have. One of my brethren, a fallen Jedi Consular, following the ways of Mace Windu, a shell of himself. Now this is post falling out the window Mace Windu. Now if you didn't remember our last story time, we talked about how falling out a window doesn't mean you die. But what you see now is a Mace Windu that fell out the window, lost most of his powers, and he's come back as this abomination. He's basically Samuel L. Jackson with no charisma and no ability. And that's what we have. And all of these Jedi mindlessly following him because he has the name of Samuel L. Jackson, I think is a shame. Including my fallen brethren, by the way. The Jedi Consular, we were in... this Jedi Consular in particular, his name is Gary. And Gary the Consular was actually with me in classes. We weren't best friends, but we knew each other. We were acquaintances, friendly with each other. And our circles would occasionally cross, and so it was nice. But Gary went down a completely different path. I was much more of the library nerd consular. So you would find me in the Jedi library studying books, trying to find holocrons, and all the typical Jedi stuff. Gary was out watching Pulp Fiction all the time, just all the time. And he became a Samuel L. Jackson fanatic. And when he saw Mace Windu, his first thought was, that dude looks like Samuel L. Jackson. I want to follow him. But he followed the new Mace Windu, the post falling out the window Mace Windu, the post window Windu. And he's been kind of not himself lately. So maybe this is an opportunity to bring Gary back to more of the light side than whatever this fallen out the window light side is that he's following right now. We already see what's happened with the rest of them, right? Ezra was trying to learn the ways of evasion, but we stopped him. So he doesn't have that anymore. He's not trying right now to get into the leader spot. So he's following somebody that used to have the abilities in Mace Windu, but doesn't really anymore, right? So we don't know what Ezra's intentions are right now. He seems to be trying to find a way in order to gain some additional power. Grandmaster Yoda was already defeated, and we found out that he's, even at his younger age, he still had the weird affinity towards 16-year-olds, which we don't need. And then Kanan, of course, is trying to step in and train Ezra, because Ezra is slowly falling off the path. Kanan's trying to bring him back, but he's not doing it the right way, because he too is following Mr. Snakes on a plane. So we have to stop this, because falling out the window Windu is not the type of Jedi that we really want Ezra to follow. Ezra can be better than that, but this is not the right way. So we're going to try and prevent Ezra from being corrupted by Samuel L. Jackson. And I think we can do that. I think we can get through this. We know what we have in terms of power. Akbar, being the strategist that he is, knows that Mace Windu is the key to this entire team. He's the one that's leading this, because all of the other ones are fallen in some way. We know about Ezra, we know about Grandmaster Yoda, we know about Gary, and we know about Kanan just trying to help out. His heart's not in it. So we're going to go right after Mace Windu, because he is the one that is trying to lead all of these shenanigans. Enfys Nest is going after all of them, though, because she knows they're fallen, they deserve no sympathy. And of course, the pedophilic droid is going to control Enfys Nest, because that's what he does. He likes controlling the 16-year-old. And of course, Hermit Yoda is going to do the same thing. Let's control that 16-year-old and take out Mace Windu, and there we go. We have broken these light side characters from the grip of fallen out the window Windu. And so now it is a matter of time that we slap some sense into them. So let's go ahead and start slapping some sense to them. Followed with, let's start with the one that we just smacked the most sense into, Ezra. We just defeated Ezra. We don't need to learn about his skills anymore. There we go. Okay, and we can do... Rolo wants to take out everyone. Leia doesn't have an affinity for anyone here, so she's just going to attack everyone. We see what's about to happen here. And then we're going to go right after... We're going to try and keep Ezra from doing any... There we go. Now, we might have broken Kanan from his need to get to save Ezra. We'll see what he does on his turn. We may have saved him. Maybe he'll just run away. But if he doesn't, he's more angry with us for stopping Ezra when he should have been the one that saves it. So we're going to go after Grandmaster Yoda, because Gary is really not of a threat. Gary's kind of just silly. He doesn't know what else to do. He's kind of just a Samuel L. Jackson fanatic, so we don't really have to worry about him very much. Grandmaster Yoda is going after 13-year-olds, so we have to try and stop him before he does anything. There we go. We stopped him before he went after another 16-year-old, so hooray! We've controlled the pedophilic green guy. And now we're going to go after Kanan. No, you know what? We're going to give Kanan a chance. We're going to let Kanan see if he can recover and see if he'll not do what we hope. But I don't think anyone wants to give him that chance. Leia knows better. You give someone a second chance, they end up backstabbing you. And look at that. Leia didn't want to give him a chance, and as soon as Kanan got the opportunity, whack, right to Leia in the face. It's sad. Kanan just brought into this because of Ezra. Ezra is just a bad influence on everyone, I have to say. It's very disappointing to see what Ezra has done to Kanan. Kanan was a good man. I think he still is a good man. He's trying his best, but at some point, you just follow down your pupil too far as he goes down the path. So there you go. Another attempt by Ezra to gain more power than he really has been thwarted. So, oh, thank you. Thank you for the payment. Hooray! Okay. Now we get to see some dark side battles. Now, Jawas are a little bit complicated. We often think of Jawa as light side, maybe dark side. It's very hard to tell because they're very in it for themselves. But really, in the end, all we're doing is Jawas are out for themselves. And so you see who they're teamed up with here. They're teamed up with one of their favorite droids, IG-86. So IG-86 is there to kind of support the Jawas and droid. There's a nice synergy there. You know they love their droids. And of course, you have other lone wolf type of characters. And those lone wolf characters are Boba Fett, and this one is Fives? Yeah, I can't tell them apart. Really, they all look the same. They should just have a big old 5 on his forehead. So now we have Boba Fett and Fives. Now, why is Fives considered a lone wolf? Well, he's really not, right? The clones are all kind of together, but the only reason is that Boba Fett is a clone of Jango, and so is Fives. So really, they're related. They are trying to get to know each other. That's really where we are in this stage of the Star Wars story. The clones are starting to come into their own. A lot of them, especially the clone troopers like Five, have started to go towards the light side. But Boba Fett has maintained his dark side position. He is more out for money. He's more out for avenging the death of his father. So that is what Boba Fett really wants to do. But when he comes across effectively his twin, like, okay, you know what? I don't really want a huge relationship with him because emotions make me vulnerable, but let me see how you work in battle. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the Jawas, who are trying to control droids and for themselves take over the world, and then Boba Fett and Fives trying to rekindle this lost brotherhood of sorts in their lone wolf kind of stage. So what we have here is a very non-synergistic team. It's a team of a bunch of very selfish people, and you'll see that they're not going to work for each other. They're very much just going to work for themselves. Even the other teams you saw, like Ezra was trying to learn from them, but this one, no, they're all out for themselves. Everyone's going to use the other person, so we're going to get rid of this very quickly. I don't suspect this to be any kind of major battle because our team is trying to work together in this combat. They really are. They really are trying to work together and prevent devastation across the galaxy. And so we're going to start here by taking away the favorite pet of the Jawas, the droid. Because once the Jawas don't have their droid, they really have nothing. So we know that we're going to give everyone a tactical advantage. Hermit Yoda is going to do his usual thing. He's going to control the 16-year-old to go ahead and attack. And there we go. We have gotten rid of the droid. Now the Jawas, as a result of not having their droids, have nothing. Jawas are just kind of there. We don't even have to worry about them. They may run away, Utini, and run away. Although I do have to say, I like their style. That cloak style with just the eyes and stuff. I wish I could do that. My eyes don't glow, and I'm pretty sure that if I do this, I really can't see. So I think the Jawas have a pretty cool advantage compared to the Jedi in that case. I think if Jedi had that, it would be a little bit better because we wouldn't be able to tell each other apart as much. I mean, if we all look like that, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between me and Gary until we lifted our hood. But, I mean, for now, you can tell the difference between Gary and I, and you saw Gary in the last one, but there you go. So we're going to leave the Jawas alone for now. We're going to go after, you know what? We're going to break up this brotherly bond. And the one that's really trying to get something out of this, Fives is a simple soul. He just wants to find his brother and have that relationship. Boba Fett is trying to take advantage of it. So we're going after Boba Fett because he is just mean. He's trying to use Fives for his own advantage to empower himself. So that's what we're going to stop. We're going to try and stop Boba Fett. And 3PO, of course, using the 16-year-old again for another battle, is going to end up attacking Boba Fett. To tell Enfys to attack Boba Fett. That's what he does. A little creep. I mean, he's not a little creep. He's kind of a big yellow creep. I guess you can kind of say that about Big Bird, maybe. I don't know. But we're going to talk about Boba Fett now, and he's coming back. Boba Fett doesn't like to die the first time. So we're going to... They're not giving up. Why would they give up on Boba Fett? And you know what? Enfys, just in her anger for the fact that Boba Fett did come back, is just going to take out her special and just whack him upside with a sudden impact right across his face. Come on. There we go. Sudden impact right in his face. Boba Fett didn't stand a chance. We have broken that brotherly bond. Now look at these faces. I mean, seriously. I'm gonna make it larger just so you can see it. Hold on. I'm gonna make it larger. Because you guys need to see this, I think. I think it's important that you see what we have done to them. So, if we look at it, let me grab this. Haha. Look at the face of that Jawa. That is a sad Jawa. That is the face of a Jawa that has lost everything. He has put together this group of misfits. He has tried to lead them down this path of power. And his droid is gone. And his hired bounty hunter is gone too. So all he has left is another Jawa. And a clone that really has nothing. Like, I mean, seriously, Fives has nothing right now. He's lost. His only goal was to try and make a brotherly relationship, and that's gone now. So Fives is unfortunately in a really bad position. So we're gonna have to try and figure out a way to see if we can save Dachka, because Dachka is in a really bad position here, and it's kind of sad, right? We never want to see the misery of anybody else, but sometimes it's to save the universe, and that is what has to happen. So if that is the case, then so be it. That's all we can do. So we're going to let Dachka suffer a little bit for putting this together. We're going to go after his Jawa buddy. There's no reason for the Jawa buddy to be here. Oh, look, time to manipulate the 16-year-old again. There we go. It is really creepy when you start thinking about it in that context. Hermit Yoda is very, very creepy. We're going to let Dachka suffer again. I'm going to go after good old Fives, who doesn't know what else to do. He's just going to try and control the 16-year-old, and we're going to kill Fives. He doesn't have his brother. Dachka is now suffering, has nothing. All of his solo teams are gone. The solo men. His Jawa brethren is gone. His droid is gone. His bounty hunter is gone. His clone trooper is gone. He really has nothing left to live for. So I think he's just going to let everyone take a pot shot at him and hopefully just get rid of him. And there we go. Dachka just took it. He didn't know what else to do. He just decided, you know what? It's over. There's no chance. My squad failed. And so this Stop Me If You Can team is making an impact in the community. They're trying to make it so that all these other teams don't rise to power. And we saw our first dark side team before, but now we see our true dark side. Our first encounter with the Empire. Dun, 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 dun. Anakin has gone on to becoming Vader. Palpatine is now in control of the Empire. Tarkin, there advising Emperor Palpatine, has helped him put together a squad of highly skilled Empire in order to prevent the Stop Me If You Can team for undoing all of the damage that they have caused. They corrupted Ezra, but that has been reversed. They tried to get the Jawas to just run havoc on all of the universe, but that has been stopped. They caused Luminara to break Jedi Consular Finity's heart, and that worked, but then he ended up getting her back, so ha! But Palpatine is not happy with what's going on here. This is his first line of defense in order to prevent the Stop Me If You Can team from literally trying to stop Palpatine if they can. And so you see who he's enlisted here for help. You have Emperor Palpatine with, of course, his right-hand man Vader and his left-hand man Tarkin. The generals by his side commanding as they get ready to launch the Death Star, which, by the way, hopefully comes into the game soon as a fun like ship raid. I think that would be really cool. With just even if it's just one phase, like one phase with a ship raid would be awesome. Just flying around in between and everything, that would be really cool. Anyways, so got that, and you have a TIE fighter, and of course, Thrawn, ready here for all strategies, all combat. He knows what the best way is to stop this team, and so he's going to try and help his Empire brethren to stop it. And we're going to see whether or not they're successful. We saw last time that our family team, our Keep It in the Family team, was stopped. They were stopped by Bastila Shan and Jedi. But we're going to see now if Stop Me If You Can is going to be stopped. And you know what Leia thinks. Emperor Palpatine has corrupted her father. She's going right after Palpatine. There's no question. 3PO is going to focus, just follow suit with Leia. You know they have a relationship there. Just from the history. And Nest is going to continue. She thinks Emperor Palpatine is the biggest threat as well. Hermit Yoda, assessing the situation, wants to give his 16-year-old a little bit of heal, but also sees that Leia could use a little bit of healing too, so he's gonna try and get everyone topped off here. Now let's see if we can get rid of Palpatine. There we go. We called 3PO. We got some dots here. Vader's trying to protect Palpatine. This is not unusual. This is what we expect. Vader does not want his master to fall right now. It's not the right time. We do not see Luke. Luke is not in position yet to claim his power. So Vader's going to try and protect it until that time. So we have to get rid of Palpatine to end what Vader is trying to do. And Vader, in anger, takes out his daughter. It's a sad time. His focus was so on Luke and seeing the death of his master, Vader went right after his daughter. Later, Leia is no longer able to do any kind of control. This is now all in the hands of a 16-year-old girl on her quest in order to prevent a takeover in the universe. Having seen one of the female role models that she has lived by die right in front of her, Ness suddenly has an anger towards Vader. 3PO is going to help. They're all going to focus. She's going right after Vader. She doesn't care about anyone else. She's going right after Vader with everything she has, taking everyone down with her if she needs to. The focus is Vader must die. He killed Leia. Nobody's going to get in her way. And she's focused. I mean, if anyone tries to interrupt her, she's stopping them. There we go. It's very sad. But there's still hope for the universe, even without Leia. Akbar's going to go ahead and heal everyone up. And Thrawn goes right after the pedophilic robot. Now, part of me thinks it's okay. You know what? 3PO's a little bit creepy. We can kind of leave him be. But immediately after him, there goes the creepy little green guy ready to control a 16-year-old girl. I mean, it's hard to stop both of them, Thrawn. I know you recognize 3PO as the greater threat in the universe, considering what he is. But, I mean, really, I don't think it matters. And I don't think Akbar wants to stop you, Thrawn. Just leave it on 3PO until we really need to. Because, I mean, really, we don't need the pedophilic droid around. So we're just going to focus on Tarkin. Because Tarkin is the general now. With Palpatine gone and with Vader gone, we needed to take out the general. And now we're at the point we can just focus on good old Thrawn. Akbar really doesn't have anything against Thrawn right now. He has the pedophilic droid under control, so we're just going to keep on doing some basics here. Maybe Thrawn will just kind of let him be. Let's see how long we can kind of hold off on killing the droid. But I think Enfys still kind of got used to 3PO, kind of manipulating her. She felt powerful with it, so she just takes out Thrawn. And so we have hit our halfway point here. We have hit the halfway point. And we see a bunch of familiar faces. The story is never ending. We see our good old friend out of the window, Windu, once again trying to lead a ragtag group of people to the promised land, but he's not the same. He doesn't have the power that he once did. Nor does Vader. Vader's not the same. We just saw him kill his own daughter. We just saw him lose his master before he obviously got pushed back. And then, of course, you have Kylo Ren, who tried to kill his mother and now saw his mother is dead. So we don't know what he's going to do. We have Gary, and I mean, it's Gary. I mean, again, Gary's following around Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, that's what he does. I can't explain it. He just does. That's all he wants to do. He wants to follow around Samuel L. Jackson. It's kind of sad. And now it's Ahsoka trying to save her master. Once again, pulled into the combat in the same way that Kanan did. Trying to see if there's any way to save her master from the dark side. But in doing so, ends up joining him, which may or may not be the smartest thing for her. So let us go ahead and see how this battle commences. But we are going to be without one team, one member. Our rebel officer Leia is no longer around. So without Leia, a lot of this landscape changes. Vader's confused. His daughter's not around. He was expecting her. Kylo Ren was expecting his mother, but she's not around. It's very hard to tell what to expect, but we all know who the evil one is here. It's Mace Windu. We're going right after him, finding every single way possible, manipulating 16-year-olds. I mean, that's what they do, all the way down to get rid of Mace Windu. That is the final goal here. We know that. So we're going to go ahead and keep on pushing here. And Nest has no affinity for any of these people. Takes out Mace Windu and puts a daze on everyone. She wants to try and bring everyone to their senses, but they're not. The one semi-innocent person here is Ahsoka. So she's going to leave Ahsoka for last. Maybe by seeing her master die, she'll realize that this is futile and she'll run away. So they're all going to go after Vader. Try to see if they can snap him out of it again. 3PO, being his pedophilic robot self, is going to control a 16-year-old and try to take her out. Same thing with the little green guy. Apparently 16-year-olds make great weapons. That's all we can figure out from this. And Ahsoka doesn't seem to be broken. She seems to be very focused on trying to save him, even though he's gone. And she goes right after the leader, the one that's trying to orchestrate the demise of her master, which is somewhat expected. She's in a state of shock. I mean, that's what we would kind of expect from her, right? Trying to protect her master and seeing the master die in front of her. I mean, it's pretty clear cut. We're going to keep going after Kylo Ren here to see if maybe we can still slap some sense into Ahsoka. So we're trying to see if we can save her for last. We're going to have everyone focus on Jedi Consular. Good old Gary. The Samuel L. Jackson follower, Jedi Consular. You see that? So those are the heals that I used to do, right? Straight burst heals. But then Luminara comes along and puts these heals over time, which is just basically like 3 doses of drugs. I mean, I really don't understand why she would do that. But she has kind of that addictive personality. So again, X-Lore, be careful. You're treading in deep waters there. Okay. In any case, sorry, got distracted. Luminar is kind of distracting for me. Okay. Focus. Do not think about Luminar. Okay, we're gonna go out with the 16-year-old again. That's what Hermit Yoda likes to do. And now it's only Ahsoka. So Ahsoka is going to, she couldn't. She tried very hard to save her master, and that's all she could do. All right, we got some more payments here. Thank you. I like these royalties. These royalties are nice. Oh, look at this. We have killed Mace Windu so much that Gary is now finding somebody else to follow. And, of course, we see Luminara. Why Luminara? Seriously. Anyone besides Luminara would be fine. Why do I have to keep seeing Luminara? I mean, I'll tell any other story. I don't know why CG is making me tell stories about Luminara. Not my favorite person right now. It's really not. But apparently that's what I have to tell stories about. She keeps on showing up. You like to torture me, don't you? Anywhere I go, even though I'm gone, even though we're no longer together, you still try to find a way to torture me. It's very sad. I find you petty, Luminara. Very petty. Okay, but we're going to tell the story nonetheless. So with Vader having been stopped, with his daughter being killed, his son has now come to take his side, trying to convince him to move away from the dark side. So Vader, under the lead of Luke, follows him to see what Luke has planned. Will he move to the dark side? Will he go to the light side? It's hard to tell right now. Luke is in a little bit of a flux himself, but what he knows is that he's surrounded by a lot of questionable people. You have, of course, Boba Fett, a bounty hunter, that we've seen try to stop things before. He's very much out for himself, but he is also a hired hand of Vader. You got Luminara, who, while I dislike her very much, is still very much a light side. She is in it for good, although she's a little bit of a, I'm going to call her a drug dealer of heels. And then, of course, you have Gary. And Gary's just a follower. You can kind of ignore Gary a little bit. He's really not going to do anything. I mean, Gary doesn't have a spine. We know that. I mean, literally, he may not have a spine after his injury, so I don't really know how he's managing to do all these fights and stuff. It's very, very weird. So, we're going to go into this battle again. One man down. I should say one woman down. We are down our good buddy, Leia. Leia took it in the face by her father, so there's only so much left that to do. So, here we go. We're focusing. And we see what's going on here. I'm not going to... I'm gonna relax here. I'm gonna try and relax. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Okay. So we're not going to have everyone focus on Luminara. There's no anger right now. There's no anger. I didn't tell the story. We're not going to have any anger. We're going to be at peace. So we're going to focus on this in the way that they would. Which is obviously the one that's still manipulating everyone is Vader. He's controlling Boba Fett. He's trying to corrupt Luke. The only way to try and save them is to get rid of Vader first. So there they go. We're going to have everyone start to focus on Vader. It is the way of the world. So Vader is just that evil. And we're trying to stop him, but it's just... I mean, if we could convert him, that would be the best way. But we can't. We've tried now. We tried, what, 3 different times so far they've run into him. And every single time, they've had to take out Vader, because Vader just doesn't give up. So now we have to focus on Boba Fett. Boba Fett is now the one that's trying to keep Luke corrupted as part of the payment that he got from Vader. That was his task. Try to keep Luke corrupted. And we have broken him from the light side. And look at Luke going right after his master. You can feel that corruption coming into Luke. Luke being trained by Yoda, but also because he was probably 16 at the time and manipulated by the little green frog, is maybe not really happy with the whole situation. But even with that being said, he goes right after his master first. So that kind of tells you their relationship, where it stands, and how much dark side is creeping into Luke. So I think we're at the point that we have to stop Luke entirely now. We have to. We can't let Luke keep going like that. He's on the path to the dark side when you attack your master like that. So we have stopped Luke. Now we have a choice. Ness looks around, tries to determine, do I go after Jedi Consular, aka Gary, or do I go after Luminara? And last time she felt the power of a storyteller to kill Luminara, so she doesn't feel like going after Luminara this time. She's going after Gary, because Gary seems more deserving. So she's just going right after Gary here. And of course, 3PO, against her will, is going to get Ness to attack Luminara. I mean, that's the way he is. He's a manipulative droid of 16-year-olds. It's very sad. But we've done it. We have once again stopped the corruption that is being spread by Vader. We got some payment from CG, so thank you very much. Okay, I got some decent things there. And now we have our... Luke just doesn't give up. So now he is trying to take on the mantle of his father. Vader has been once again thrown aside, unable to get the job done. And now it is time for a new group to try and take up arms. Boba Fett, maybe the strongest of the bunch from the last fight, is trying to lead a team. He saw potential in Luke. Luke could very well end up being a very good bounty hunter if he so chose. And he has a pretty good gun in order to shoot it. So he recruits Luke. We have Talia, who's already experienced this team. As did Five. And as, of course, Luminara. So sad. It's kind of depressing. I really, of all the people, it's the third time now we've seen her. I don't think it's coincidence. I'm pretty sure CG knows what they're doing to me right now by showing Luminar over and over again, and it's very not nice. So we see what's happening here. Boba Fett is trying to lead this group, trying to convert them into becoming bounty hunters. Once again, trying to manipulate Fives with the brotherly love to try and bring him over. So we know that Boba Fett is a manipulator here, and it is time for the Stop Me If You Can team to literally try to stop them if they can. So we're going to keep on having the 16-year-old. I mean, we know what's about to happen. The 16-year-old's about to go nuts on everyone, starting with Boba Fett. So she's going to go first with an AoE and just try to knock everyone senseless. And right after Boba Fett, the true mastermind of this entire group. And they're all focusing on it. They all know Boba Fett is the main threat here. They don't care about anybody else. They don't care what they did, what they do. They're just focusing on Boba Fett because he is the one that is trying to corrupt them all. And here we go, Hermit Yoda controlling the 16-year-old right into the face of Boba Fett, and we have eliminated the leader. The heroes, once again, with the memory of Leia on their minds, have decided that they are going to finish this battle. And they have taken out Boba Fett. The leader of this group trying to corrupt them all is now gone. We have a few left here that are all now in weird positions. Luminara just brought on because she's a nuisance to me. Talia because of her experience with this team and fighting them. Luke trying to avenge his father, and Fives being the most innocent of them all, just trying to gain some brotherly love with his brother, Boba Fett. But none of that is happening. So at this point, they're all corrupted. They're all evil. We're going to start out with the one that is most down the path, which is Luke, as he's trying to become his father. We definitely can't let that happen. We don't need another Vader. Okay. Maybe Ranger's right. I'm just about to say I love that 16-year-old because she just killed my ex-girlfriend. I mean, that's fantastic. I didn't even ask her to. It was basically like a freebie. I maybe shouldn't say freebie with a 16-year-old. So she... How do I word this that doesn't get me in trouble? There's very few ways to talk about a 16-year-old without getting yourself in trouble. Just make note of that for all of you people out there. Forget about any other stories or whatever. Anytime you're telling a story, you have to be very careful. And anything I say, I know Durgan is going to probably replicate in chat. So this is no good. But thank you for taking care of that for me, Nest. It's much appreciated. But now we have to go back to work. We have to prevent the addition of Vader. We don't need another Vader. And she took out Luke. We have stopped the threats. Now we have a couple of people just with their experience. No particular interest in moving forward with this. I mean, really, they're just here for the sake of being here. So we're just going to go ahead and start taking everyone out. Look at Fives. Fives doesn't know what to do. He's lost his brother. Doesn't really have a purpose in all of this. Just very, very confused by the whole thing. And you can kind of tell he's confused, right? He has the little question marks above his head. It is not a fixation. Did you see what's happening here? The droid and the green dude are just controlling this 16-year-old. It's just manipulating the 16-year-old. It's very sad. Okay. We are now at that stage where we are starting to see some of their recovery. We saw Ezra going down a dark path. We saw Kanan trying to bring him back. But now we can see that he is rejoined with his Phoenix team. So he might have come back. He is now here to honorably challenge us in a true form of fighting, to see whether or not he has the strength in order to try and grow. He seems to be surrounded by friends. He seems to have a noble endeavor at this point. Kanan is now watching over him. So now we see that we are able to do a true test of battles. Ezra and Kanan are now going to be able to truly test how powerful they are against those that they have faced before. So we see now a Phoenix team. We're going to leave Ezra because we want Ezra to be able to test his powers. Ezra is in this now for all the right reasons. So we're going to leave Ezra be. We know who we always have to target. We have to go after the leader if we can. So we're going straight after Hera. And of course, 3PO is going to manipulate the 16-year-old to attack. Okay, and so is Hermit Yoda, just manipulating 16-year-olds in order to attack. We're going to start getting some specials up. And let's see what Enfys. Enfys is going after everyone. She ain't. There we go. We have gotten rid of the leader. So now who would be the de facto leader afterwards of this team? Well, typically the de facto leader is going to be Kanan. When the Phoenix have any kind of issues and Hera's not around, Kanan seems to be the most wise. So they focus on the next one who may take over the lead position if left to his own. So everyone just focuses on good old Kanan. Ezra trying to protect himself. And look at that. Chopper, the cantankerous droid himself, taunts in order to try and protect Kanan. Well, we'll see how long that lasts, because again, 3PO is going to manipulate the 16-year-old in order to do damage, and we're going back on to Kanan, because that is the way that they know how to fight. They target the leader. And now it looks like Zeb. Zeb is trying to take over that lead position. The droid wants nothing to do with it. Chopper really wants nothing to do with it. So we're focusing on Zeb now. And there we go. We have taken out all of the leaders. We want Ezra to be able to test his true strength. So we're going to focus on good old Chopper. We're going to take Chopper out. Oh, but Ezra tested his strength against the 16-year-old and failed. Not the wisest move. Not the wisest move. So we're going to go back here to the battle, and we have Chopper left, right? And Chopper's all by himself now. He knows. But Hermit Yoda can't help himself. He's manipulating the 16-year-old to go and attack that droid. There we go. Our 4 remain victors in the memory of Leia. And thank you, CG. More payments. Haha. Oh, look at this. We have some controversy now. So Vader has finally come back. We have defeated him, we sent him away, we hopefully freed Luke away from his grips, but Palpatine and Vader are not giving up. They now have Dooku with them, and they've gone back in time and gotten Sion. Darth Sion is now here to help Palpatine. It's crazy. So Palpatine has now not only had his right-hand man, but no more Tarkin. He's going straight aggressive now. We are going with Sion and we're going with Dooku. And then strangely Rex. Now how does Rex fit into this? Well, Rex is brought in with all of the past battles that we have. So if you don't realize, Rex is also a clone. And Rex has now seen his Brethren 5 go down and try to be brotherly with Boba Fett and die multiple times. Rex is now questioning himself. He is now wondering whether or not he is... I mean, take a look at him. Look at that face. That is the face of somebody that is questioning whether or not they made the right decisions. Whether or not he really is truly supposed to be light side. His brother-in-arms 5s has now been thwarted from trying to find his brotherly love 3 times. He tried to work with Boba Fett, but it just didn't happen. And it's all at the hands of this Stop Me If You Can team. And now they've come, and we know that Emperor Palpatine has a hatred for them. And so Rex has now joined Emperor Palpatine to try to stop the Stop Me If You Can team. If he can stop them, maybe it really is that the dark side is the better team. But if they don't, then maybe Rex has a chance for recovery. So we are doing this to save Rex. We must save Rex from the clutches of the dark side. That is our goal here. So Palpatine and Vader are trying to manipulate Rex, trying to bring back that inner Jango inside of him. And we can't let that happen. But we need to make sure that Rex sees all of their deaths. He needs to see every single one. So we're going right after Palpatine first, because again, we don't want that leader around. We're going right after him. No leader at all. We know Palpatine is manipulating everybody. This is not the way that we want any actions to go. So we're going to try and give everyone that tactical genius so they know exactly who they need to fight. And if Palpatine is gone, then that gets us exactly what we need. Oh, look at this. They're starting their nonsense. This dark side team is really what's causing any kind of trouble for this squad. I mean, Rex may have made the right choice. Maybe Darkseid is the right way to go. But we're stuck now on Sion. So we're attacking Sion now because we're trying to break this hold. We have to try and break the hold away from the dark side. And we're manipulating 16-year-olds in order to do it. But sometimes the ends justify the means. There we go. We're doing our best here. Palpatine is still up. And we're going to try and get rid of Palpatine. Let's see if we can do... Oh, so close. Oh, this is not looking good for our fearless heroes. Oh, and our tactical genius is down. But we are now at the point where we have no Akbar, but they have no Palpatine. So what do we have left? I hope you see the scenario, because now it's just super creepy. We have the 16-year-old and the pedophilic droid and the pedophilic frog manipulating the 16-year-old. This is where we are. Like, legitimately, you guys saw everything. This is the way that we are. And so the fearless leader is gone. We are now at the mercy of two pedophiles controlling a 16-year-old. And the biggest threat so far has been Sion. So everyone is focusing on Sion right now. There's nothing else to do. So Nest knows. She's going to try and stop Sion the best she can. 3PO is going to be calling. There we go. They're almost done. Here we go, Nest. Big AoE time. Time to see how many of them she can knock some sense into. And there we go. She knocked some sense into all of them. Knocked out Sion. Got that old corpse back down into his grave, back in time. And now we have to focus on Vader, because Vader is the one that's trying to lead this team. And we got him. We got him stunned, and he's almost dead. We don't care about Dooku. Dooku's just kind of flying around. We got to make sure Rex watches. So Rex has now seen they were able to take out Akbar. They were definitely formidable, but not formidable enough. It looks like now the manipulation of the 16-year-old is enough to maybe knock some sense into Rex. There we go. What is Rex going to do? Well, he attacks Nest as his last will, basically saying, free me from this dark side, free me from this darkness. And Nest does. She obliges. And we have once again thwarted Emperor Palpatine from his grave mistake. Which brings us to our final chapter of the night. Bastila. We saw her before, trying to lead Jedi. But she has a new person on her team. She has Commander Luke. An evolved Luke. A stronger Luke. She also has a stronger Ezra. One that has learned from his battle with the Phoenix team that having strong friends means a lot, and it's more about the light side than dark side. So we've seen now that the light side has managed to free many of these. So once again, we are in a great state in the universe where the light side has now prevailed. We have seen the light side make it through, prevent the corruption of Ezra, prevent the corruption of Luke. Not really prevent the pedophilia of Yoda, but I guess we'll never really be able to stop that. I mean, that's just the way it is. But now we've also seen that Kenobi here, being the wise man that he is here to help out the Jedi, here to support Luke. And we are now going to see whether or not our remaining team... There we go. Come on. There we go. We are now going to see whether or not our remaining team of the 16-year-old and the 2 pedophiles are able to stand up against Bastila and a group of reformed Jedi. Let us proceed with this battle in the way that only would justify this kind of scrimmage. Everyone sit back, relax, and enjoy. So Kenobi is taking a lot of the damage here. We see this. They're having a full-out scrimmage, and Ness goes right after Kenobi, and they take out Hermit Yoda. Look at them take out the pedophile first. Smartest thing you could do. Take out the pedophile. And look at that. They take out both the pedophiles. And they save the 16-year-old from the pedophiles. We have done it, folks. The light side has prevailed. The winners are the best of the light side. We have Bastila, Commander Luke, who has now been reformed, Ezra, Grandmaster Yoda, and General Kenobi, who have taken out the 2 pedophiles and saved the 16-year-old from her corruption. And I don't think a story could be better told. 2 pedophiles, a 16-year-old, Princess Leia, and Admiral Akbar tried to save the universe, only to find that by the end, all those that they saved from the dark side are now more light side than they are, and now they have been freed from their dark side. So maybe there's hope for Hermit Yoda. Maybe there's hope for 3PO. And when Ness grows up, who knows? Maybe she'll go back and whack herself some Hermit Yoda and 3PO and knock some sense into them too. But at this point, the galaxy is saved, and now we can rest in peace. So for everyone watching, hope you have a great night. Hope you enjoyed the story. Remember these tales, as these are canon in Star Wars: Galaxy of Heroes.